I've had to come home and run an errand, and coincidentally, my new mount for a phone and or GPS, which I thought might work in this car, has arrived. So I thought I'd drop it in here and give it a go. On my way home, I had to come down, well, had to is a strong word, but I came down Osborne, which is a secondary street. So Phoenix grid arrangement, you have your primary streets, Indian School, Camelback, Thomas, etc. And then you have the half streets at the half mile. And they're still, they're large streets. They're not exactly residential, but they're not the main thoroughfares. So the speeds are a little bit slower, not as many lanes. And coming down Osborne, I got 61 miles to the gallon. Whereas going down Indian School, I get about 35. Took me a little longer to get here, but then that's just the nature of the traffic. I used to come down Osborne a lot because you don't get the frustrations of some of the big backup that you get in rush hour going down the others, Thomas or Indian School. So again, phenomenal if I could get that kind of mileage all the time, but for crying out loud, 35 is good too. So I like this. I think this stand will do. We'll give it a few days, try out. It also fits my GPS, so I can mount the GPS since I couldn't get one on the console display. $2,000. Give me a friggin' break. At work, I have reserved parking upstairs, and this last week I was locked out of my space for one day because they're doing some sort of renovations, and I won't say they're idiots too loud, but I'll say it. They managed to damage the structural beam, and so now I'm out of my spot until the 12th of September, which is just a great week to buy. See, here's the supports propping it up now that it's a lethal death trap. I don't know what else there is to say. I'd rather not park my new car in a lethal death trap, or myself for that matter. But you know, don't they do like structural engineering stuff before they go and start screwing around with the support beams of a garage? It's bad enough I have to park in the garage anyway. What if the whole thing collapses? There's my spot, right there. Yeah. This is the first time Michelle has walked home from school from the bus stop. We left Michelle at the mall all day today with her friend so she could walk around and do those teenage things that they do. You know, shopping, which they hate to do if they're with anybody else. Eating at the food court, which they hate to do if they're with anybody else. And probably tittering and laughing at other people. And now we're meeting up with our friends Ben and Keith at Oscar's Pier 83 for fish and chips. And well, we're just waiting for them. Given the car a good run today, dropped Michelle off, did a little mall walking ourselves while she was in a movie, and then we've just been place to place instead of going home because we're a good 30-minute drive from home, and we just thought we'd stay on this side of town, kill some time. So yeah, well, that's it so far. It was 77 this morning at 7 a.m. Which, you know, 777, that's good. But we headed out for the park because the weather's nice. We're gonna make a complete Pokemon run of the park today. We're even taking the obscure ones that are off in the grass, off the beaten path. As you can see behind me here, this is the new community garden thing that they put in, because they were going to try to sell that property. When they made this deal for this land, that was supposed to be a commercial development, and it's never materialized. And so now they've turned it into a sort of public works community garden, and plenty of people out working on it this morning. Video. You probably can't see that, but that's James disappearing into the distance, chasing after Dotrio. Well, we've been around 2.5 miles at least now in the park this morning. I finally caught my Pikachu. That bitch is mine. It's the same one that was here the other day, so I feel vindicated in my triumph. But we found this, I don't know, something we couldn't recognize. It wasn't, when you don't know what they are, they don't show you the full name in the sightings. And James is like, wanted this thing. He doesn't know what it is, but he wanted it. And so he finally convinced me to go have a seat on the park bench, and he was just running around and round and round looking for this thing, up and down, doing a cross circuit pattern across the other side of the lake, and up and down and back, and then he'd go out this way, and he'd be studying the foam. And I would have shot video of it, but since there was some unknown Pokemon loose, I handed him my phone and said, well, if you find it, you go catch it for me too, because what good is it if I send him off if he doesn't do that for me? So he's running back now. You can probably see him. Yeah, there he is in the green shirt coming up behind me. He must have caught his Dodrio. Anyway, we're about done here, and then it's breakfast. I need a big breakfast. I'm starving. Parakeets or something in the park. Parakeets, lorikeets, mini keets, I don't know, some sort of keets. They look keety. We've stopped in at the local, at a local diner. It's a little mom and pop joint for breakfast because I'm starving. James is still playing games on the phone. Mom needs a battery pack more than I do. Not because she uses it a lot.
Hey, praying for the coffee.
Yes, I've gotten out of the wave pool early, just so I could get some video of the kids in the wave pool. I'm also hungry. Being smashed about on the waves for a while really makes you hungrier. And then the waves end and everyone runs for the water slide. On our other cars, the Toyota Sienna and the old Hyundai Santa Fe, which I sold, we had these support our scientist car magnets, and I'd forgotten. You know, you're supposed to move them around every once in a while, and I had forgotten. And when we sold the Santa Fe, I forgot to pick it up. So we literally called them up and said, we forgot this because we wanted it for the new car, and they said, oh sure, we haven't sold it yet. So I went there and I took the bumper, the magnet off, and it had melted on the car, and so it basically was ruined when I took it off, so it was all for naught. So I've ordered another one, and it has arrived today, and I'm very excited about it, except for just this one little thing. Apparently this is my new refrigerator magnet because it doesn't stick on the car until you get around to the gas tank. Plastics. Who knew?